Hey everybody, what's happening? I'm starting a little bit early. Hans, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Starting just a tad early because I want to show you guys. So this is the Isla Grande scenery from Orbix, and this is some cool stuff. They did a really good job. This is a fun little airport. It's in a lot of ways quite a bit more interesting than San Juan International, the big one. But yeah, so Orbix did this one, and they did a really cool job with it. And just thought we'd poke our heads around here a little bit before we get started. Triptonica, what's going on? Bob, how are you doing? Aaron, what's happening? And we've got some more people around. I saw Sheb earlier. A whole bunch of people coming around here, but I think this is such a cool scenery. I freaking love this. I love little I love kind of regional airports in the sim. Well, that's definitely what this is. Karib Sim Pilot, what's going on? Sheb down there. All right, so we're getting close. We got a couple minutes. We're a couple minutes early, but that's okay. And we'll be doing a flyby on Cash Collins today. I don't know if he's watching or not, but we'll be flying right over where he is. He's actually at one of the Sim Update 16 points of interest, which is whatchamacallit. Geez, he posted it in my Discord earlier. I'm trying to remember what it was. Let me take a look here. It is Sabre Rock, yeah. Sabre Rock, there's Cash in the Discord right now, but yeah, so Sabre Rock is one of the Sim Update 16 points of interest, and he's there like in real life right now, which is pretty wild. Luis, what's going on? All right, there we go. So let's go toes on the brakes. I really wanted to do this in VR, but VR is just not conducive to streaming. But all right, external power supply on, rotating beacon on, mixtures and props full forward, faster battery switches on, fuel valves open, fuel pumps on. Boy, it's a list, isn't it? Mags coming on. We'll crack the throttles. Take a look outside, make sure there's nobody out there to kill or maim. And I'm gonna kill all four of these people that are standing in front of my plane, unfortunately. Oil pressure is good. Left prop is clear. Good start. Oil pressure is good. We'll close that. We'll turn the fuel pumps off. Fuel pressures are good. Avionics master coming on. Lean the mixtures for taxi. I'm gonna bring the throttles back here just a little bit. We'll go transponder squawk altitude. All right, Buckman, what's going on? Jason, how you doing? And any instrument pilot or any instrument student would know that this instrument right here should have an in-op sticker on it, because if it's not in-op, you might have to use it on your instrument check ride, and you don't want that to happen. Oh, you don't want that to happen. All right, toes are on the brakes. Let's go. External power supply off. What else do I have to do here? I've gotten so used to flying this airplane. I love this airplane. All right, nav and strobe lights coming on. Parking brake is released. And unfortunately, these people have to die, but that's just the way it goes. This should be a fun flight. Cash inspired me on this one. I was like, whoopsie, I'm gonna take out the cap plane here to my right. This guy, unfortunately, I'm sorry, sir. I will send condolences to your family, but that's the way it goes. So let's see here. So you should depart. I don't know if you should depart first or last. Those Caps 182s are pretty cool. It's Zayden. Zayden, what's going on? How you doing? I have a buddy of mine who's who just had a son named Zayden, and well, actually, now I just realized I've told a lie. His son's name is Zane, not Zayden. But anyway, Zayden, welcome aboard. Good to see you. And For those of you who missed it earlier, this is Orbix. Whoa, look at that. This is Orbix scenery for Isla Grande Airport, and they're really nicely done. But I love this airport. This is one of the cool little look at that. This is one of the cool little local airports in the Caribbean. That is sweet. There's the flying school, Isla Grande Flying School. Check that out. I should go there, learn how to fly. Alright, let's go. Landing light on. We'll set the flaps. El Mejor is coming in the CRJX. Well, he's not coming in, he's flying over top. We'll go fuel pumps on. Probably don't need full length in the old Islander. So, we'll head out this way. And I think everybody else is quite a bit down the runway. Yeah, Jason, this must look so good in VR. It must look so good. Check the final approach path, make sure nobody's coming. Didn't really check it that well, did I? How about we set our altimeter? That's another good idea. Alright, heading indicator checks with the runway number. Takeoff power is coming in. Takeoff power is set. Engine instruments are in the green. Airspeed is alive. 70 knots. And let's go flying. Sweet. This is pretty cool. I really like this little airport. I gotta find more reasons to come to this airport. It's just a cool little spot. It really is, and you can see they've done like a ton of the area around the airport too, which is pretty cool. Alright, let's bring the power back here. Let's bring the props back. Drop the nose, dump the flaps. And let's hold it at 100 knots. I mean, it's just a cool airport, especially when you're coming into land. It's just a cool little airport. So, off we go. Next stop, Culebra. Fun fact, Isla been open for over 70 years. That's crazy, Luis. That's really neat. That is really cool. Alright, let's go fuel pumps off at 1,000 feet. Did I get that one? I did. Check our fuel pressures. Fuel pressures are looking good. That's really cool, Luis. How neat is that? I love stories like that. And that's the thing that people don't get about the Caribbean, is there's so much aviation history in the islands. And I'm sure Puerto Rico, I'm sure, has a huge aviation history. I'm surprised there's no like, I think Jamaica might have an aviation museum, but I'm surprised there's not an aviation museum. Nate, what's going on? How you doing? Welcome aboard. What is all that stuttering about? Holy cow. I just had the worst stuttering I think I've ever had. But that's alright. Rolling a little bit of aileron trim here. We'll go 3,000. I'm still climbing like a homesick angel right here. Look at this. I'm climbing at 2,000 feet a minute. Alright, let's nose it over. Bring the props back a little bit. And there we go. Let's see if we can actually hold our altitude today. That would be nice. It is windy today. It is windy today. That is for sure. ADF Designs out in front here, leading the way. See if I can get trimmed out here. Opened in 1953. That's crazy. How neat is that? Zayden, born in Puerto Rico, but I was raised in Wisconsin. Go to Puerto Rico once in a while. I was talking to somebody earlier. I've never been to Puerto Rico. But I'd love to go. I'd especially love to go to Culebra. I would love to go to Culebra and Vieques for that matter. I would really be interested in seeing both. 1903, what's going on? How you doing? I am on a 3080 Ti, so pretty close. But yes, 3080 Ti is what I'm running. And boy, the air is active today. Act. TUPJ. No, TJCP. I'm sorry. What? My controls are not working. My yoke is not working. What was that? My yoke just, like, stopped. I have never had that happen before. Alright, well. I mean, I actually have had that happen. I've had that happen in Flight Sim 24. I have not had that happen in Flight Sim 2020. That is bizarre. Sorry about that, fellas. Wonder what that's all about. Keyboard. Do you think that's what it was? Keyboard. I sort of thought that, Hans. So let me not use the keyboard again. So I'll just take off from the intersection here real quick out of Isla Grande. That just reminded me of one of the axioms of flying is that if you ever do something, if you ever like flip a switch or move a lever or hit a button and something really bad happens, just undo what you just did. And that's what I was trying to do when I hit that button to open the keyboard. That's when the plane started, you know, turning, and so I tried to undo the keyboard, but it didn't work. So, is my no, I mean, internet is working. Internet is working. So, let me just run a quick speed test here. I wonder what was that about. That was bizarre. Yeah, I mean, my internet is fine. My internet is more than fine. Is anybody else having trouble? Okay, here we go. All right, let's try this one more time. All right. Oh, come on. Now this isn't working. Okay. All right, let's try this one more time. External power supply on. Rotating beacon on. None of my controls are connected. What is this all about? What is this all about? Okay, so nothing is connected. Alright. Let's try this again. I'm gonna go back to the main menu. I'm just gonna load in at the end of the runway and see if everything happens to work. That is really bizarre. Alright, let's try one more time. I'm just gonna load in right here. That is bizarre what's happened now. Must be getting closer to the Bermuda Triangle. It probably is. Your internet went tango uniform. Evan, what's going on? Yeah, you know, and that's the thing. Sometimes this happens, right? But I've never had. I just had some really horrid performance when we were climbing out, and then all of a sudden that crash. Neither of which I've ever had happen before. So hard to say. But let's see here if we get any. If we have any better luck. Nope. Controls are not working at all. Alright, let me reload my sim. I might get kicked off the stream. If I do, I will restart the stream. but I have to restart my sim because the whole thing just went belly up. Yeah, no idea. No idea. All right, so let's try this one more time. So, how's everybody doing today? Zayden, where are you a plane spotter? I think you said, let me look back. I think you said Wisconsin, no? But 7 purple, yeah, but I mean, Puerto Rico is gorgeous, man. It is gorgeous. So, yeah, we'll restart. We'll see what happens here. But anyway, that was too bad. It seems to have been a self-imposed error. But I'll load in again at oh, Zayden, I do too. That's funny. I will load in at right at the end of the runway, and hopefully that'll do the trick. Let me turn this off because all right. Sorry, everybody, for the delay. Steve, we are on USA East or East USA. Yeah, I've been back in New York for about 15 years. I was all over the place for a while. Yeah, Ryan, I would love to, except for most of the people on the stream are still in 2020, so but we're getting there. I think after Sim Update 2, once it comes out, I think a lot more people are gonna find Sim Update 2 to be for 2024 to be useful. I mean, Flight Sim 2024 is so good. It's just you know, growing pains right now, and I know that's kind of difficult to convince people of when we kind of expected one thing and got another with Flight Sim 24. But I don't know, Flight Sim 24 is pretty awesome, actually. It's just not the most stable thing in the world. It's not even that it's not stable. It's just a lot of unforced errors, in my opinion. I mean, with the walk around. Fortunately, in Sim Update 2, you can now skip the walk around, which is fantastic. But like not having a lot of aircraft is a big thing too. I mean, it would be helpful if we had, you know, our PMDGs, for example. But I mean, the flight dynamics and everything in Flight Sim 2024 are fantastic. I love Flight Sim 24. I genuinely do. Let me make sure everything's good here. Okay, let's try this one more time. All right, let's try this again here. And I will hopefully catch you guys up. I forgot to turn on Volanta as well, so I can see where everybody is. So here we go. One more time. There is a ton of VATSIM traffic going on right now in San Juan. And let's see. 2024 does not have live weather. I've thought the live weather is pretty good in 2024. All right, please tell me you work. Okay, everything is working. Okay, now the next thing I need to have working is... Okay, now. Ooh, no wonder it's so loud in here. Maybe that's what happened. Did I open the window, maybe? Alright, toes on the brakes. Let's release the brakes. Set the flaps. Why is my head in such a weird spot? Alright, what is going on? Alright, fuel pumps on. Let's get going here. Alright, mixtures in process. Full forward fuel pumps are on. And off we go. I think I might have had the window open in the plane. There's 70 knots, engine instruments are in the green. And off we go. Let's try this one more time. And once again, here is this pretty awesome scenery. I mean, it's just cool around here. I like this. Alright, hopefully I can catch up to you guys. Alright, let's put up the flaps. And I got everybody in sight. So everybody can go over and have their fun at Culebra before I get there. Let's see here. Lights are all good. Bring the power back, bring the props back. I swear, I think I had the window open because it's a lot quieter in here right now. Than it was before. Shut down and wait for me. Leading the pack. Alright, there's 1,000 feet. Let's turn the fuel pumps off. I'm not gonna bother messing with the GPS this time. The only reason I ever did that, it's like when you set the GPS in the car, even though you know where you're going. I'm just obsessed with knowing exactly what minute I'm gonna get there. It's the only reason I use it. It's the same. I had no need for turning on the GPS right there, but I just felt like doing it. Alright, let's go a little rudder trim here. Not that much. Alright. So, what I was about to say right before, there's the stutter again. What I was about to say right before right before I came hurtling to Earth was that the plane was climbing like crazy, which is of course somewhat ironic to say that and then have it crash. So, yours always starts with the window open, huh, Buckman? I swear I think it was open because it's quite a bit quieter in here than it was before. Through 2024 last week, and thunderstorms happened in the USA, and weather did not happen in the same. Yeah, I mean it's probably, I'm sure it's hit and miss in some cases. I don't know that I've ever really flown in 2024 and like purposely looked up the weather ahead of time to see what it was, which of course is stupid. But yeah, it could be. I mean, that was one of the big selling points of 24. Scott, what's going on? Good to see you as well. One of the big selling points, of course, of 2024 is that they have this new, like, weather connection with, I think it's Meteo Blue, and which is a little odd because I think nobody's ever heard of Meteo Blue before. And that is San Juan International right below me. I can tell. Yep. That's pretty cool. Nice view. But let's see here. Let's roll it out. Bill Scanlon, how you doing? What's going on? We are we're heading from Isla Grande in San Juan over to Culebra, which is one of my favorite airports. I absolutely love Culebra. Absolutely love Culebra. So it's a good another gorgeous afternoon for flying in the Caribbean. It's always gorgeous to fly in the Caribbean, almost. But yeah, now we're settled in here a little bit. Our plane is somewhat overperforming here in the yellow arc. But yeah, I was also saying before, oh, the Bacardi factory, I don't know where it is. They should have put that in yeah, I'm making 150 knots. I mean, I am descending a little bit, but they should have had that as a as a point of interest in World Update 16. We went when we were in Guadeloupe a couple of years ago. We went to a well, actually we've gone to a couple of rum distilleries. We went to one in St. Croix too. But we went to one. There was this rum distillery and museum in Guadeloupe, and it was interesting and kind of sad at the same time. But the whole reason that rum became such a big thing in the islands is once the sugar trade collapsed in like the mid 1800s. Once the sugar cane trade collapsed, they needed something to do with all the sugar, and so they just made booze out of it, which makes sense. I mean, I think it's a fairly typical thing to do. Bacardi's near the starting airport. Okay, and Bacardi's like one of the biggest like beverage conglomerates in the world. If I'm remembering correctly. Man, I gotta get my foot down. Look at that. That's some pretty nice scenery for stock scenery. Look at that. I just randomly picked an outside view. This is stock Asobo maps. That's pretty sweet, I gotta say. Well, I mean, I guess they did update all the maps for Sim Update 16, right? Or World Update 16. Man, it looks good down here. I really want to go to Puerto Rico. A lot of the islands, people don't realize, a lot of the islands are pretty small, you know? Like Puerto Rico is big. It's a big island. I mean, Anguilla is 13 miles long and 2 miles wide, maybe 3 miles wide. But it's small, let's put it to you that way. Puerto Rico is the rum capital of the world. That doesn't surprise me. That doesn't surprise me. Mrs. Island Sim Pilot is originally from Venezuela, and they have a ton of really, really good rums from Venezuela. Of course, you can't really get them anymore because Venezuela is not doing particularly well. But I never touched rum until we went to the islands, because I always thought of rum as like the college kid drink, you know. But rum is actually pretty. I mean, I guess it's like anything else. You can get good rum and not so good rum. But you do come to Puerto Rico, man. I recommend Cabo Rojo. Most beautiful beach I've ever seen. Dude, I'm there. I'm gonna write that down, as a matter of fact, right now. Cabo Rojo. I will check that out after the stream. But yeah, I'm curious. I want to go see. I want to go to Culebra. I would love to go to Culebra. I'd love to go to Vieques. Really nice rum from here this Christmas. Yeah, they make some fantastic rums from Venezuela. I'm trying to think of some of them. Aniversario is one of them. Really good stuff. But there's Jason back there. EU forever. There's a fan of the European Union right there. Triptonica, climbing through descending through 25,000 feet. And gosh, look at this. That's full of Americans, I'm sure. Well, I mean, Puerto Rico is full of Americans. Let's clarify that statement. But what I meant was like snowbirds. My company's main office is now in Puerto Rico for tax purposes, I'm sure. But it's just at a rum factory last week in the Bahamas. Yeah, I mean, it depends, right? Like we went to one on St. Croix. It was what's it called again? Cruzan, Cruzan, and I had never heard of it, but it's really good rum. And it was fun. Had some of the Dominican last week, and it was decent. Man, I wish I was on your trip, dude. That sounds awesome. Am I into a headwind right here? I sort of feel like I don't feel like I'm going anywhere very fast. Let's see. Let us see here. So now I guess what we can do is start thinking about our approach into Culebra, and I'm gonna go with the, what is it called again? The, I can't think of the name of it. My 18-year-old son has some for the first time. That probably burned. That probably burned. What do they call this again? The approach over the side here in Culebra. Can't remember. Let me look. It is called the I can't find it. There's some the approach John Whaling's distillery. There's an approach over the hillside in Culebra, and I can't remember what it was called. I'm sure somebody here knows it. But I just can't think of it right now. And my airplane keeps climbing and climbing and climbing. AJ, what's going on? We're doing great. How you doing? We are looking for, let me see, I'm trying to find it. The Tamarindo approach. That's what I'm looking for. Tamarindo approach. I gotta find out what the weather is here in Culebra. TJCP, METAR. It's probably the same roughly as let's see, 140 at 13 knots. 140 at 13. Yeah, we should be able to do that. Yeah, we should be able to do that. Tamarindo approach it is, Luis. Yeah, we're gonna do that because it is fun. Just landed from the Tamarindo approach and the Twin Otter. Easy. Nice. The Twin Otter is crazy. I was watching some videos the other day of the Twin Otter flying into Saba, because I can't land in Saba to save my life. And they brought that thing in at, like, I think stall speed in the Twin Otter is like 55 knots. They brought it in at like 60 knots indicated. Just got off work and starting your weekend. That is a good feeling. My weekend is coming to a screeching halt. But this is the funnest part of my weekend. I enjoy doing this. Just nailed that approach. Nice. So, you know, it's been raining here like all weekend, and now all of a sudden it's beautiful outside. But I mean, look at this. Man, this is so beautiful. That's the thing about Flight Sim 2020 is, like, it's just so nice. It just looks so good. And it really does. Let's see here. You remember back in the day when Flight Sim 2020 didn't have any water masks or anything? And now, like, every little island's got these gorgeous little... Look at that. Every little island has these gorgeous water masks all around them. It's really neat. Vieques. I think we sort of skipped Vieques on this flight, didn't we? We did indeed. That's a cool airport too. I like that little airport. It's a fun one. I like small airports in the Caribbean. This one, Culebra, is one of my favorites. Boy, this must be a, well, yeah, I guess it's a, what, 15 knot wind. 20 is probably at least 20 at this altitude. But I just feel like I'm going nowhere fast right now. You know? I'm making, I mean, indicated 140 plus. But I feel like we're not really moving right now. I can hear it. Where is it? Ah, there he is. I can hear it. Alright, so we're starting to get warmed up here for the old Tamarindo approach. Hans just nailed it as well. The Tamarindo should be pretty easy today because of the wind. But famous last words, right? What we got here? Probably about 10 miles out now. Let's start thinking about coming in. Yeah, it's a fun, no matter which approach you fly in here, it's a fun approach. It really is. I've never flown the 1-3 approach in here, I don't think I've ever flown that approach. Or the 3-1 approach, I'm sorry, the 3-1 approach, not the 1-3 approach. But the Tamarindo approach is a hoot. For those of you who haven't seen it yet, I'm gonna give it a shot here. And with this wind, it should be pretty easy. And I will repeat what I always say about this approach. I really don't think they should do this with paying passengers on board. I really genuinely don't. But they do. The Caribbean definitely has a little bit of the Wild West as far as aviation goes. I've seen videos on YouTube of charter companies rolling airplanes in the Caribbean. Like I forget what they were flying. It was some sort of twin, and they literally did a barrel roll in it. I don't think they had passengers on board. I think it was just like 2 of the company pilots goofing around, but I don't know. Stuff like that makes me nervous. You know? So we'll see here. So if we're gonna do the Tamarind approach, I'm gonna bring the power back here and get down. So gotta get down to about 700 feet, I think it is. But yeah, it doesn't want to come down, so we'll come down even further on the power. Alright, that should do the trick. So, sorry for making everybody wait for me. I'm going slowly. Alright, Cycnoscopus. Cool. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Alright. Alright, let's get a notch of flaps in here. Hold this up here for a second. Get rid of some speed. Do. Yeah. Alright, there's 115 knots. Let's get in a notch of flaps. And we'll drop here. So how are you going to get in there with the F-22? That's what I want to know. And how am I going to get in there without ripping my flaps off? That would be good too. Alright, Francisco. You're flying my day trip, run on vacation with Cape Air, nosedives, and yeah, you know which one I'm doing. You know which one I'm doing. Francisco is familiar with the Tamarindo approach. Or is it Tamarindo or Tamarind? I think it's Tamarindo. But yeah, Francisco, that's the one, man. That's the one. We'll go fuel pumps on. I don't want to trim out all of the elevator control because I need to... Oh, Francisco, if you're in the Discord, post it in the Discord. Post a link to it. I'd love to see your video of it. So let's see here. Alright, now we can start. Wifey hates it. Well, you know, Francisco, I was just saying, I don't know if you heard me a few minutes ago. I genuinely don't think they should do it with paying passengers on board. I really don't. It looks fun, but it's just, number one, it's not necessary, and number two, it's to me, it's one of those things that what's the way they refer to it? It's normalization of deviation is how they refer to it, and basically, it's like you get away with something enough times that you start thinking it's like a normal thing to do, and it's really not. Like I just don't. I mean, I think it's entertaining, it's fun, it's hilarious, but I just like when you've got people, when you got paying passengers on board and you're responsible for their safety, I just don't think it's a really good idea. I really genuinely don't. But I'm also sort of a yeah, it is sketchy. It's totally sketchy. I mean, the first person who thought of, the thing is, like with this wind, like right now the wind is 140 at 15 or something like that. So the wind is perfect for it. But I mean, to me, it's one of those things that somebody one day was sitting there with a beer and was like, hey, I got an idea, you know? And it works, but all right, 900 feet. Fuel mixtures and props full forward. Fuel pumps are on, flaps are set. And I'm just gonna hold. I guess it's maybe 600 feet here. So I'm just gonna hold altitude here. Lose some speed. Yeah, I need to lose some speed because once I drop the nose, we're gonna gain a lot of speed. All right, so here we go. Here's the Tamarindo approach. Start seeing the airport. Start getting slower. I mean, it's really pretty well aligned with the runway, honestly. And we'll hold the nose, drop it. Power is out. It's really pretty well aligned with the runway, but nonetheless. Alright, we got good momentum here. Alright. Yeah, I mean, with that wind, it's pretty easy. Hold it. Yeah, with that wind, it's pretty easy. But yeah, I'm gonna come back around, I think, this way. Yeah, I'm gonna come back around the left. So this is another one of my favorite sceneries by SLH Sim Designs. And I should have gone that way so I could show you the little terminal over there. It's really pretty cool. Let's see here. It's a fun little airport. And we're gonna, whoa! We're gonna go careening up the taxiway, apparently. Alright, let's check our trim. We gotta come in with some nose down trim. We're gonna take out some taxi lights on the way. Mixtures and props full forward. Fuel pumps are on. And I want to see what Triptonic has got here. Let's go. Let's see what you got. Let's see what you got. He's got it nailed. He's got it nailed. Making it look easy in the F-22. That's great. Oh, that's good. Alright. You know what? This is the Islander. We're going to take off right from here. Alright, mixtures and props. So forward fuel pumps are on, flaps are set, seatbelts are secure. Alright, St. Thomas, here we come. Takeoff power is coming in before we even get lined up. Takeoff power is set, engine instruments in the green, airspeed is alive. There's 70 knots. Get airborne again. Whoa! I was trying to keep it in ground effect. Instead, I wheelbarrowed. Oopsie. Look at this. How cool is that? That is awesome. I just did a wheelbarrow. That was pretty bad. I'm sure in real life that would have taken the nose gear right out. Alright, power coming back. Props coming back. Drop the nose a little bit, let the flaps come up. And roosters everywhere. Yeah. You know what's funny when there's where we stay when we go to Anguilla, there's like a whole bunch of like families of chickens, and there's some roosters, and they do their roostering at like 10:30 in the morning. We're like, guys, you know, you missed sunrise. You know, such a cool. I want to do this approach 3-1. That would be a fun one. So St. Thomas, Beef Island. I want to go out to whatchamacallit, Anegada. I just don't know. We may have time. We got time. Let's see, those condos off your left sell for $250. Yeah, I bet. If I had $250, I'd spend it on a condo there. That'd be great. A good way to spend $250,000 in my opinion. That's actually not too bad, $250. I mean, it's not like I got it sitting around, you know, but Dingy Dock Restaurant off your right wing. So that must have been like this area. Second taxiway have to go around, exactly. Whoopsie. Come on, airplane. It's so pretty. It's just pretty down here. Just pretty down here. Alright. This is another fun... This is a fun airport. I'm going to stop at 2,500 feet. There's no reason to keep climbing. This is a fun airliner approach. But, let's see here. Fuel pumps coming off. This is why we have checklists. Flaps are up. Seatbelts are secure. Actually, that's not part of my cruise checklist. Gotten into bad habits in my... I'm about to start my real flying season. And... I'm gonna have to start getting used to actually using real checklists again, because I get lazy in the sim. I don't use checklists. I just do it all by brain, which explains why I miss so many things. Gonna retire there in 5 more years, Francisco. God bless you, my friend. God bless you. UTV and Ham, what's going on? How you doing? Francisco, I congratulate you, my friend. That is awesome. My Mrs. Island Sim Pilot and I daydream about going to the Caribbean and just never coming back. And I mean, the thing is people do it, you know? People just do things like that. But the difference is that in order to do it, you gotta do it. You gotta, you know, instead of like talking about it, you gotta like get her done. And it's, you know, in some ways it's a lot easier said than done. Of course it is, but like I work from home. I could go wherever I want. Why not, you know? Anguilla is where we want to go. You are leading the pack again. You are indeed. So funny how many people on this. Well, there's at least a couple people on this stream from Anguilla. And speaking of people from Anguilla, I don't know if you guys saw the Grand Slam track this weekend with Mr. Zarnell Hughes picking up second place for the sprints. Did a really nice job. He is an Anguillan and an all-around good guy. And congratulations to Captain Hughes. Let's see, retired right before COVID hit. Getting back into flight simming, that's a great thing to get back into. I think a lot of people got into flight simming. Flight Sim 2020 hit like at a really good time, you know, because a lot of people were stuck inside, you know. Kenneth, how you doing? What's happening? But yeah, I mean, you know, I mean, if you think about it, what was it, August 2020 when Flight Sim 2020 came out, and it was a different world. I still think back and it's like, it's hard to believe in some ways. Everything we went through. But I think the older I get, the more I realize, like, there's no such thing as that could never happen. You know? I never would have predicted that. Star of the Seas. Yeah, right? Work from the ship. Now, my Mrs. Island Sim Pilot is not a fan of cruises. I've never been on one. But the cruise ain't gonna happen in my lifetime. But I mean, so my wife has been to basically every island in the Caribbean, and she knows what I would like. She knows what we're looking for. I think we're talking about going to either Tortola or well, no, basically going to Tortola next time out. We'll see. Let's see here. Wifey lifted me the Pimax Super 50. Bought the AV. That is sweet, Francisco. That is really nice. So I have the Pimax Crystal Light, and it is fantastic. And I have a 12,700K and a 3080 Ti, so it's not like I have like a super crazy rig or anything. And the Crystal Light is just awesome. Yeah, lift. I thought it was slang. I was thinking that was slang. Gifted makes more sense. But I was like, lifted works, you know. But Triptonica going 800 knots. That's cool, Francisco. That's good stuff. I mean, what's funny is I was never interested in VR. Was just never interested in VR until I tried it, and now it's like, wow. I mean, VR is just crazy. All right, let's go fuel pumps on. Let's get some flaps in here. And we'll just hold the nose here for a second so I can get some flaps in. And let's see here. Forgot to tell you, but I'm moving back to Anguilla in July. No way. Do you need a roommate? Dude. That is awesome. That is awesome. Good for you. I don't know why, if you're from Anguilla, I don't know why you would ever leave. Building system 9950X3D and 4090. Yeah, that's gonna get the job done. I think RAM is underrated too. I think you're making a smart choice going with a lot of RAM and fast RAM. I think RAM is underrated. I have 64 gigabytes of RAM, and it treats me very well. Where's everybody? Look at that! Wow. Look at that. That's crazy. Alright. Let's at least get one red light here. Not yet. Let's at least get one. Is that two? I can't tell. Now I got three. There you go. Well, at least now we can bleed off some speed. One of the things I like about Flight Sim 24 is the PAPI lights are a lot brighter. Alright, let's go. Last notch of flaps. Mixtures and props full forward. Fuel pumps are on. Flaps are set. Seat belts are secure. Let's get on center line. Definitely got a crosswind. Alright. There we go. Alright, get ready to stomp on that left pedal here pretty soon. Alright, this is actually looking pretty good. So how am I going to manage to screw this up? Because I probably will. Alright. And we'll just hold it, hold it, hold it. Left rudder, right aileron. I mean, that was almost skillful right there. Almost. Whoa. I can't drive like this. I'm trying to take a picture. Alright, we're gonna go one notch of flaps up. Come on, flaps. There we go. I'm gonna do touch and go here. This is another cool airport. I like St. Thomas Airport. Fun. It's a fun airline airport. I don't think it's that entertaining of a GA airport. Hans, what are you doing up there? I know you like to fly low, Hans, but that's crazy right there. All right, we got 70 knots. Let's go flying here. I like the departure here. The departure here is pretty fun. Just beautiful, isn't it? Is it me or is that cool? All right, so I want to keep the climb up because I can't really see what's in front of me and I don't want to hit anything. RAM and VRAM is the key. Yeah, everybody talks about VRAM. Nobody really talks about actual RAM itself. I think it is quite important. I'm gonna drop the flaps here. Looking good. Let's see. What's everybody doing? Nice. Bob coming in. That's looking smooth, Bob. How did I get in front of everybody? I was behind everybody. Let's see. Gosh, this is beautiful. Man, it is pretty. He says as he smacks into a mountain. Alright. St. Thomas is big-ish too. It's not that small. Just got an RTX 5070. I wonder. I'll be curious to see what you think of the multi-frame generation. I'll be curious to see what you think of that. MFG. This is so cool. I just love the colors in the islands in the sim. It's really nice. 2,500 climbing 3,000. 7 purple. Good time to the island. Take the shuttle from the airport to Charlotte while you take the ferry to Road Town. Yeah, man. I'm in as far as that one goes. It's funny because you would think that ferries would be kind of the way to get around in the islands. You know, but as you know, the water can be a little rough and it can take a while. You know? There's 23 inches of manifold pressure. Bring the props back a little bit. Did I put the fuel pumps up? No, I did not. Fuel pumps coming off. Check our fuel pressures. Fuel pressures are good. So it's funny, well, not funny. So the U.S. Virgin Islands were Danish until the early 1900s, And then the Danes signed over the U.S. Virgin Islands to the U.S. in exchange for Greenland. And we will ignore the whole discussion about, you know, like the U.S. and Europe like passing around countries like they're toys or like they're, you know, objects to be gifted to somebody else. But, you know, and now we're like, oh, we're gonna take Greenland. No, I don't like. I purposely avoid politics in anything on my YouTube channel, but that's ridiculous. So, and I didn't know that until I looked that up. So that's how the U.S. Virgin Islands became the U.S. Virgin Islands. And now we're like, oh, we'll just take Greenland too. First of all, Greenland doesn't want to be taken. And second of all, it's not our choice. Anyway, there's a great, if you look on YouTube, there's a streaming channel called the Beach Bar from St. John, the St. John Beach Bar, and it's right there. And it's this beautiful view. And they've got a couple different live live cameras, which are really fun to watch. Hey Hans, thanks a lot for joining. Take care. Have a good night, and we'll see you next week, buddy. Let's see, UTV and Ham, thanks. You take care as well. Thanks for stopping by. So we're coming up on the Beach Bar here pretty soon. Soggy Dollar, yeah, Soggy Dollar is like over here. Which one is Joost van Dyke? Is that Joost van Dyke? I think. Let me see, Joost van Dyke. And that's a weird name. Well, it's actually, now that I think about it, that sounds Danish, does it not? It does indeed. But anyway, the Beach Bar is right here. Like right there. And Joost van Dyke is indeed that island right there. Sent you a DM, Ryan. Awesome. I'll check it out when the stream is over. But yeah, I was. So that's the Beach Bar right there. And I watched their stream like all week while I'm working. It's just fun to, just entertaining, beautiful. Why are we nosediving? Yeah, all right. And on the other side over here, there's another place called, what is it called? The Windmill Bar. The Windmill Bar, which has a really beautiful view too. I spend my working days looking at Caribbean streams. And there's actually a new one. There's a new stream from Grantley Adams International Airport on Barbados, which is pretty cool too. Good. Yeah, Francisco, I know exactly what you mean. And I am flying too low. So right up here is the U.S. Virgin Islands National Park, right in this area. And there is no rule about flying over national parks, but they recommend that you fly over at no less than 3,000 feet above the ground to be considerate of those enjoying the park. So therefore, I am not being considerate. So let's try to be considerate here, and we'll get up above 3,000 feet here. Let's see. Look at I mean, it's just, these islands are just so cool. There's Buckman. Why am I don't understand why the plane all of a sudden wants to go down. Let's trim a little bit. Let me take a picture of that one. Who else we got over there? Oh, he hasn't gone real far, has he? That's St. Croix over there. But, and this is the national park. Just so beautiful down here. And now we hang a left and we'll head over to Beef Island. And Anegada is... So let's see. Virgin Gorda is right there. Anegada is right out here. But it's very flat, so you really can't see it. We'll go check that out too. We'll go check that out. So... just love the greens down here in the sim. Look really lush. I think it looks great. So, Beef Island. This is another place I can't believe they fly jets into, but they do. American Airlines flies in here. So... we'll drop down in here. We got just about our 11 o'clock is Road Town, which is the capital of the British Virgin Islands. And yes, I am a tour guide. So funny, I've never been to any of these places and I know so much about them. Actually, I was a tour guide. I was a tour guide in college. It's kind of a funny job. Alright. This is another really fun approach. Why are you doing this? So... right up here is Road Town. And actually, now that I think about it... wait a minute, we missed... did we miss... I think we missed that Sabre Rock. Where's Sabre Rock? Sabre Rock. My plane is nosediving right now. Where is Sabre Rock? Oh, okay. No, it's over in Virgin Gorda. Okay. Alright, now I gotta get serious. Stop goofing around here. So Sabre Rock is over in Virgin Gorda. We'll go check that out. We'll go check it out. Over here is... so this is where you make a... they don't have any radar at Beef Island, so this is where you make a... they ask you to make a radio call when you're Abeam Road Town, and that's what we are right now. But right over here is the Capitol building. It's one of the points of interest. And I need to stop nosediving. Right over in here. Somewhere. Alright. Let's get it to 115 knots. We'll go first notch of flaps. Let's go fuel pumps on. Alright. Now, I'm going to try to flatten this out here a little bit. That's pretty good. Look at that. Ruby. There it is. That's the Capitol building right there. The legislative building. I forget what they call it. But, alright. Let's get ourselves comfortable here. 90 knots is fine. That means I can drop the flaps when I'm ready. Sun is on Discord and sending 2 videos now. Nice. Thanks, Francisco. I think Discord is an aptly named app. Discord is confusing in my opinion. But then again, I'm old. Let's see here. Alright. Looks like we got a little bit of wind out of the right, which makes sense. Remember, the first time I flew in here in the sim, there was a ship sticking out of the side of one of the hills. So... I've had more stutters on today's flight than I've had like in 6 months. Alright, once we clear this hill, we'll go full flaps. There we go, looking good. Can you imagine doing this in an E-Jet? I mean, I don't even think they have approaches to this airport. I really don't. So let's get to 80 knots and get ourselves trimmed out for 80 knots. Looking beautiful. Alright, mixtures and props full forward. Now we gotta bring some power in because we are sinking. What are you sinking about? That's a German joke. Alright, fuel pumps are on, flaps are set. Gear is down and welded, seatbelts are secure. We are good to go. Alright, okay. Alright. There we go. Come on. Come on, nose. Alright, nicely done, Sheb. That's gonna be Sheb right there. Nicely done. Triptonica is on it. A little bit of right to left wind. A little bit of right to left wind. Alright, power's coming out. Power's coming out. Power is out. That was a lazy landing. That was a lazy landing. Alright. Let's see here. Let's see here. I'm gonna mess Bob up here on this landing. Ah, he nailed it. He nailed it. Let's see. Why is your plane not showing as the Islander, Bob? Because you are flying the Islander. Let's see. Finally found the sweet spot. Notice when overclocking with the 14900 KS had an effect on LG. Yeah, I mean, it does. It does. I don't really mess with overclocking. And if I ever do, I do like the kind of the auto overclocks, like the really simple, like low-key overclocks. Let's go. Let's set our heading indicator. Let's set our altimeter. Let's head for Anegada. We got time. We got time. Time is on our side. Fuel pumps are on. Flaps are set. How's my trim? Oh, trim forward for takeoff. That guy's been sitting there the entire time, hasn't gone anywhere. Alright. So we should have a nice like sunset approach into Virgin Gorda. If for anybody who hasn't gone into Virgin Gorda yet, that's a fun one. Alright, mixtures and props full forward, fuel pumps are on, flaps are set, seatbelts are secure. Takeoff power is coming in. Takeoff power is set. Engine instruments are in the green. Airspeed is alive, accelerating normally. 70 knots. And rotates. So, take a look real quick. This is a sweet airport. This is SLH Sim Designs. Beef Island. I love this airport. Really like this little airport. It's just a fun one to fly into. That's such a neat approach. Alright, where are you, Anagata? I know you're out there somewhere. Oh, there. There you are. Alright. Power coming back a little bit. Props coming back. Put the flaps up. A little bit of trim. There is Saber Rock. Is that Saber Rock? No, it's not Saber Rock. Never mind. It looks like a fun place though. Look at that. Look at that little dock there with the sailboat. I wouldn't mind being right there right now. Yeah, you should be. It should show up as the Islander. I don't understand why it doesn't. So how far? It's not that far out to not that far out to Anagata. But Anagata is a cool little airstrip. See if I can even see it. It's just kind of this way. So, and then Saber Rock is okay. So Saber Rock is like right over in here, on the other side of that little hill right there. So we'll go, yeah, now you can see Anagata better. This is another place I want to go in real life. This is a place I really want to go in real life. I'm going to stop at 2,000 feet on the climb on this one. Just because there's no real reason to keep climbing. Especially into a headwind. Wind usually gets stronger the higher you go. Did I turn the fuel pumps off once again? No, I did not. Always turn your fuel pumps off at 1,000 feet AGL. It's just a reminder. 1,000 feet AGL, fuel pumps off. Just a reminder. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't know how much I mean, I guess some of the hardware is really geared for overclocking. I mean, I have a 12,700K, so it is designed for overclocking. But I mean, I use the BIOS overclock. You know, just it's very conservative, but it gives you a little bit more performance. And the cool thing is you're guaranteed not to screw it up, you know, which makes me happy. But I mean, I kind of feel like if you've got, like, if you're really overclocking for performance, then you're kind of a little bit behind where you want to be in terms of hardware anyway, right? See, Saber Rock is right between those two islands right there. And that's where the airport is, right on the other side of this little, right on the other side of that little hill right there. This is beautiful, in my humble opinion. But from what I understand, Anagata, this island out here, is kind of a place where, like, time forgot, you know, time stood still, which is exactly the kind of place that I like. I think I'm one of those people that thinks TV was better when we had like 12 channels. I think 12 was about the perfect number. We now have 4,000, and it is just full of gibberish. Full of gibberish. And yes, I have been a grumpy old man since I was 12. What can I say? So, I don't even remember what the runway number is out here. I gotta look. That's the runway. You can the airport. You can see right there. Oh, so it must be like must be like runway 9, something like that. No, maybe 12, something. Tango Uniform Papa Alpha. Let's see here. Tango Uniform Papa Alpha. There's probably no METAR out there. I guarantee you there's no METAR out there in real life. Living in Midtown and turning 51, we are ready for the simple island life. Amen, Francisco. You talking Midtown New York? Midtown Manhattan? Let's see. 070-9er is the wind out here. Let's see here. Airport. What do we got? We got runway 927. And it is... how long? 762 meters. What does that mean? It's about, what, 2,100 feet? East 23rd. Yeah, I used to work on, what was it? Gosh, I probably should remember this. 34th and Park Avenue. 34th and Park Avenue I used to work at. I technically still work there. I just haven't been there in 7 years. Yeah, I mean, and I mean, I was in New York City in the early 2000s. I was there from 2000 to 2007, and I still have people who are like, "Oh, you lived in New York." I'm like, "Yeah, it's not all it's cracked up to be." I mean, it has its moments, but I certainly wouldn't want to be by Wolfgang Steakhouse. I wouldn't want to be in New York nowadays. But New York is, I mean, New York was crazy New York was crazy expensive when I lived there. I can't even imagine how expensive New York is now. I mean, Francisco, you probably laugh when I tell you what we used to pay in rent in New York City. We had ferry boat captain for the waterway. Gotcha. We had whatchamacallit, studios were like $1,200 back in that day, like early 2000s. Studios probably 3 times that nowadays. Let's bring the props back here. Let's see. Francisco, that is good. That is good. Owning property in New York is not a bad thing. We had family friends who during COVID their rent went down to like, I mean, a third of what it was, and then as soon as COVID was over, their rent like tripled in no time. You know. But so there is. Where is it? I think it might be right in front of us. There's this, no, it's over here. There's a little hotel that I would love to go stay at someday. Look how beautiful this is. Man, this is gorgeous. I still sometimes can't get over the fact this is a flight simulator. You know? Yeah, it's beautiful. Let's go fuel pumps on. Let's see here. Alright, let's bring the nose up. We'll get some speed. 531 feet. 531 feet. Let's see. Flaps 1 notch. I would love to fly out here in real life. Alright, line it up. There's the white arc. So we'll go mixtures and props full forward. Now we gotta bring some power in, otherwise we are gonna get in a weird spot here. Alright, fuel pumps are on, flaps are set, seatbelts are secure, mixtures and props full forward. We are ready to rumble here. Alright. Let's see. Show the way, Shub. Yeah, I'm about to show the way right into the ground. Alright, alright, alright. Whoa. That was a poor approach on my part. Almost got more poor right there. Alright, settle down here, settle down, settle down, settle down. Well, this thing is floating like crazy. Of course, that's what happens, I guess, when you're approaching at 90 knots. Right? Alright, let's swing it around here. See some approaches. I was feeling pretty good about that approach for a little while, and then all of a sudden it went south. Literally. Alright. Let's see here. This is another cool little airport. This is I don't know if you guys picked up the freeware off FlightSimTO. A really cool little airport. There comes Bob. See, this is I love little airports like this. This one is actually one of my favorites now that I remember. I forgot about how good this one was. Let's see what we got. Oh, he's coming. So I love this little airport. Check this out. Little hut right here. And there's a cool sign on here. Yeah, Francisco, I do too. I do too, that'd be great. And it's good publicity for him too, like good advertising, you know? There we are, coming into view now. Yeah, I'm gonna come over here. I want to show you guys a closer view of this little airport. Yeah, it's a little squirrely down here, Bob. That was nicely handled right there. So check this out. Look at this. I mean, it's not bad for a little, you know, a little freeware airport. I mean, there's nothing special about it. It's not, you know, but I just love little airports like this. I think it's really pretty cool. I think they did a cool job. Yeah, I totally agree, Francisco. I've actually thought about that so many times. Like, so many of these little islands would do well to put little, because I mean, so many people are into plane spotting nowadays. You know, like watching. Never flown from this side. Watching, you know, planes take off and land. You know. So now we go get to do the really fun one. This is probably the most entertaining landing of the bunch. Virgin Gorda. Alright, let's see here. A little bit of trim down. And there we go. So I'll bring it all the way back here. So mixtures and props full forward. And we'll spin it around. Trip down again. Alright. Oopsie. Heading indicator checks with the runway number. Takeoff power is coming in. Takeoff power is set. Engine instruments are in the green. Airspeed is alive. Accelerating normally. Well, if you consider zigzagging down the runway normal. 70 knots, and off we go. Off we go. Noodle soup over there. That's alright. We had a really good soup yesterday. My wife made a great soup. Look at how beautiful this is. Tell me this is not beautiful. Seriously. Alright, let's go this way. Bring some power out. Bring the props back. And don't want to bring the flaps up in a turn. I don't like doing that. lest you find out you have less lift than you think. Right, there we go. There we go. And where is that little hotel? Hold on. I might be flying over it right now. It's a little hotel somewhere here. It might be this right here. He says as he goes into a departure stall. Oh, man, it's beautiful. It is beautiful. What if that could be a business like Earth Cam? Yeah, I mean, why not? You know, I mean, some of these channels do pretty well. You know, and I mean, it sure is peaceful. So, you know, like the beach bar cam in St. John, it's just relaxing to watch. They have a couple different views. One of them is 1,000 feet. Turn your fuel pumps off, Mike. One of them is out towards the bay, and the other one is like inside the restaurant. But yeah, why not? I mean, I'm surprised Anguilla doesn't have more cameras than it does. It's such a beautiful place. And the cameras it does have aren't any good. We'll go 2,000 on the way over. Yeah, Francisco, I love that camera. Or the beach bar. Yeah, I watched that. I mean, St. Bart's has a ton of and really good cameras too on St. Bart's. All around the airport and like the bay, like the little harbor there. St. Bart's has got some great cameras. And like, for example, the beach bar, I mean, I'm sure they make a little money off that one. Not a lot, but I'm sure they make something. You know? Alright, fuel pumps are off, flaps are up. And we'll just hold that trim right there. Alright, now we gotta find Sabre Rock. We're gonna go wave the cache. So. Alright. Sabre Rock. Okay, so. Over this way. Let's see. Yep. Okay. Alright, if we go straight over this rock right here, that should take us right into Sabre Rock. Sabre Rock is like right dead ahead of us. And this one's a pretty cool one. This one's fun. Fuck, man. These guys are over in Anguilla. Or St. Martin, one of the two. Noodle Soup in the A5. That's a plane I haven't flown in the sim. Let's see here. Where'd Bob go? Bob, where are you? Last I saw you was on the ground over there. Oh, anyway. Alright, so now pull a little bit of power out and nose down here. We'll go down and check out Sabre Rock. We'll go wave to Cache Collins. So for those of you who don't know, like one of our regular channel, one of our regular group flight attendees and channel buddy, Cache Collins was actually in Virgin Gorda today. He sent us a picture of what we're about to go check out. Engine problems restarting. Gotcha. I know about those. So right where Triptonica is right now. Well, you can make up time at that F-22, can't you? Right there is Sabre Rock. And our destination is just on the other side of this hill right here. Gosh, it's pretty. I think this is what I would do if I was rich. I would just like fly around here for kicks. Bring the props back a little bit so we don't annoy people on the ground. Alright. Let's square it out here a little bit. Whoopsie. So that's Saber Rock right there. Right there. We'll go check that out. I don't think you can fly this plane with like no rudder at all. So this is one of the World Update 16 points of interest. Cool. Alright, now. Now let's climb. Lost stream for a second. Hopefully it's back. That is not feeling particularly safe. What I just did. Alright, power back. And we'll come up to about 1,000 feet here. Whoopsie daisy. Alright, easy there, Tiger. Alright, we'll come back 21 here. And I should have turned my fuel pumps on for that maneuver. I did not. Alright, fuel pumps are on. And so there is, look at this. That's our destination right there. Gosh, it is pretty. Alright. There's Triptonica buzzing Virgin Gorda. Alright, let's bring some power out here. We'll start slowing down. Alright. This is another fun approach. Coming back under 115 knots, we'll go first notch of flaps. And come back to about 15 inches of manifold pressure. And start slowly making our way in here. Matt, this is the Britain Norman Islander by Black Box Simulations. My favorite airplane. It's kind of a niche plane. It's an island hopper. You know, they use it all over the place for short strips, dirt strips. It's an island hopper. It's a great little airplane. Take off and land at like 50 knots easily. Alright, so power coming back here a little bit. Fuel pumps are on. So let me just hold this heading right here. You can see the end of the runway, about our 2 o'clock. Alright, let me just bring it right over the end of this hill here. A second notch of flaps. I keep an eye on that speed. I don't want that to drop. I don't want my vertical speed to drop either. There they both go, so we gotta bring in some power. Alright, we're looking good. Right to left wind, you can feel that. Yep. And once we get over this hill, we'll go mixtures and props full forward. We got speed, so we'll bring some power out. Oh, this is a little squirrely here. Alright, come on. Saddle. Got the speed. Alright, there you go. Come on, come on. Alright, not the best. That, though, was a redeeming touchdown. That was my best landing of the day by a country mile. Not too bad. I love this little airport. Wait to see, if for any of you who haven't seen this yet, wait till you see this, and this is Freeware. Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Then we'll watch some landings here. Alright, lean the mixtures. Look at this little airport. Little Freeware airport. So cool. Captain Barrios over there. Look at this little airport. And there's so much to it. Once you if you get around, if you get out and like look around. Alright. Mixtures to idle. Cutoff throttles are idle. Parking brakes set. Avionics master off. Fuel pumps off. Bring the flaps up here so we don't make fools of ourselves. Lights coming off. Mags coming off. Master and battery switches off. Set the... Well, no, I'm not going to check. Yeah, we'll set those, and we'll set those. And we'll open the doors. But check out this little airport. Look at this little airport. How cool is this? What are you doing over there? Look how cool this is. And there's like an interior in it. You can go in there and walk around. We got the little statue of Jesus up here. It's just a fun little airport. And this guy's coming in the A350. Nah, I guess he's not. But here comes Bob. Windsock showing different directions. Yeah, I mean, you know, you're right. I didn't notice that. When I was taxiing down, I was like, that's a little odd that that this one I think is wrong. But it's such a cool little airport, especially for Freeware. Especially for Freeware. Bob's got this one in the bag. Look at this. It's a squirrely little turn to final today with that wind. Nicely done. Nicely done. Gosh, Bob, you're making us all look good. Very nice. Man, I tell you, it doesn't get much better than that. Very nice. Looky there. Where's, what is that? Where's Buckman? There's Buckman. Yeah, this is such a cool little airport. I absolutely love this little airport. Little Freeware. You can see the Virgin Gorda sign right there. Whatchamacallit, Tradewind flies in here with in PC-12s, which is pretty neat. But there's Buckman. Buckman's gonna make a runway 22 approach. Oh, they've changed it. It's runway 321 nowadays. That's funny with the Buckman's going. That may as well. It's just a crosswind, right? I don't think I've ever landed from that direction. That was sweet too. Look at that. Nicely done. Very nicely done. That was a fun afternoon of flying, if I do say so myself. You know, it was a really good time. This guy's been sitting over there the entire time and not going anywhere. Gentlemen, thanks everybody for coming out. I appreciate it. This is a good one. This is a fun idea to do the Virgin Islands again. And shout out to Cash Collins, who is in the hey Ryan, I absolutely will. Shout out to Cash Collins, who is actually here right now, and we are all jealous, of course. But Bob, Buckman, Francisco, thanks a lot for coming by. I really appreciate it. Hopefully, if you want to jump in the Discord, Francisco, it'd be great. Otherwise, we fly every Wednesday and Sunday. We fly Wednesdays about 4 o'clock and Sundays about 4 o'clock. So anytime you're around, be glad to have you with us. And Triptonica, thanks. Sheb, appreciate it as always, gentlemen. And it's a good time. I'm grateful for everybody coming out. I do think my wife is hungry, so I probably should get going. But that was cool, guys. I really appreciate everybody coming out. I hope you guys had as much fun as I did. And we will see you guys. Hopefully Wednesday we'll fly again this week. And have a good start to your week. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And we'll talk soon. All right, Francisco, take it easy. Thanks a lot, everybody. Take care.